Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. I'll move this over here. Yes, sir. Perfect. All right. Let me move this. Let me make this a little bit smaller, actually. There we go. All right, perfect. All right. Oh man, I didn't even freaking turn this on. Yup. Camera one rolling. Let me make sure the other camera is rolling. Boom. Camera two is rolling. Mic is rolling. All right, cool. We are locked and loaded. All right, perfect. Yo, if you're on live, what up, live? I'm gonna be recording about 3 YouTube videos. If I have the energy, I'll go ahead and do 4. But I'm gonna be recording about 3 YouTube videos. So you guys get to basically come along for the ride, and you'll eventually you will see this on YouTube in its polished format and all that good stuff. Good night. Eventually you'll see this in like its polished format and all that good stuff. But for right now, you're kind of getting the raw, unedited version. I can see all the comments. I can see everything. So if I see enough people kind of join, I might do a little bit of Q&A. But for the most part, we're just kind of running off and doing YouTube videos. Beautiful. Let's get it started. Right. What's going on, guys? This is Brian Waldron. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down how to find an affordable event venue, upgrade it, and make thousands every single month. I know that sounds like a crazy claim, but it's exactly what I've been able to do. For those who don't know, my name is Brian Waldron. Did $3.5 million in 4 years with brick and mortar event spaces, and now we run the #1 event space coaching and consulting company in America that breaks down literally how to find fun and fill your own event space. Right. So here's the big problem. Right. Most people think that you need $50,000 to $100,000 to open up an event space. Right. So let's just put that right here. $50K to $100K, and let's just draw a big X over it, right? And here's the thing, right? You don't. You can start with a cheap warehouse. You can start with a cheap office suite. You can start with an overlooked retail unit and turn it into a $5,000 to $20,000 a month business with the right strategy, right? So essentially what's going to happen in this video is I'm going to be breaking down how to find these cheaper locations, how to upgrade them without overspending or anything like that, and how to turn them into a profitable event space, even if you're just starting out, right? So this is the blueprint that real event space owners like I was once to scale from zero, no previous experience needed, right? Let's get into this, right? So one of the biggest things that you want to do, I'm going to write the big number 1 right here, is stop looking for turnkey spaces, right? And look for vacant commercial units. Okay, I'll just write units, right? Why is this so important? The reason this is so important is because a lot of times when people are looking for these turnkey event spaces, what's happening is that they come in with these rose-colored glasses and they end up taking these locations that are super expensive, right? $9, $10, $12, $15,000 a month or whatever the case may be, right? Because the thing about it, guess what? Landlords know the value of these, right? But with vacant units, right, they just want them filled. So for me, I'm looking for spaces that have been vacant for an extended period of time, right? I'm looking for like retail storefronts, okay? All right. I'm looking for even outdated warehouses, right? I was just on a one-on-one with one of our clients, shout out Miguel, where we were looking at a couple different commercial units, and he was just like, Brian, I'm not too sure. I don't know if I want to work with this one, whatever the case may be. And I'm just like, dude, like, yeah, it's a vacant warehouse and it's going to need some work, but imagine like there's nobody else bidding for this property. Right? There's nobody else gunning for this. Everybody wants like the beautiful turnkey downtown location, whatever the case may be. But you don't think the landlord knows that? So they're going to rake up the price exponentially because of these exact same things, right? So like I might even look for like maybe like a closed down business, something with an overlapping usage like a salon or a gym, or maybe even like some type of studio, okay, right? I might look for upstairs or downstairs units. Like a lot of people don't like stairs, right? You see and it's so funny because like I talk to a lot of our clients in Event Space Elites, and I talk about the success that we've had and whatnot, and they're just like, oh well, well you had like really turnkey spaces. I'm just like, what do you mean I had turnkey spaces? Like I made them turnkey. Right. So a lot of times what happens is like you're passing up on these different units, not even realizing that they're literal gold. Right. So I might look at like an upstairs or downstairs unit. Okay. Right. I might look at something like that. Right. I might even look at maybe like a community center. Right. A community center that is underused. Right. I might look at all these different things, right? Typically, what's happening is that you can literally rent these spaces 30 to 60% less than these traditional turnkey spaces. Why? Because nobody is bidding for them, right? So the second thing, or I'll just put a big number 2 right here, right? The second thing is I like to get to the landlord directly, right? So let's just write landlord direct, right? I like to get to the landlord directly, right? Now, here's the thing, right? Obviously, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have to go through the broker, you're going to have to go through a realtor, whatever the case may be. And that's cool and everything, right? But here's the thing, right? A lot of times when you go directly to the landlord, you're able to negotiate a little bit better because one, you're saving on the realtor's fee, right? And you get to get a more favorable agreement because now they get to put a face to a name. It's not just numbers and things of that nature. So when possible, I like to go directly to the landlord. And a lot of times when the landlord is really trying to get a deal, they'll want to go ahead and meet directly with you as well, right? So that's one of the big leverage points right there, right? Number 3, this is so big. Number 3 is so big, right? Target lower income neighborhoods. Now, this is going to be probably a bigger boulder to kind of shift in like the limiting belief and whatnot. But here's the thing, right? Every single venue that I've ever utilized, every single venue that I've ever went ahead and rented, leased out, whatever the case may be, has been in a lower income neighborhood. East New York, Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brownsville, right? These are all lower income neighborhoods that 9 times out of 10 people wouldn't even look at, right? So here's the thing, right? Like if I know that I can go into a lower income neighborhood and I don't have to compete with some crazy pricing, I don't have to compete with some super saturated areas, I'm going to win. I'm going to win. Like I'm going to win, right? And I'm going to win simply because number 1, right? Lower rent, less competition, right? And typically, right? Like even with these, like because it's a lower income neighborhood, what typically happens is that they have so many buildings and whatnot that are kind of stacked upon each other, especially if you're in an urban area, where now it's just like, okay, cool, there's more population, right? So, and here's the thing, right? People will drive if the space is good. Like everybody thinks like, oh my God, Brian, like nobody's going to come because I'm in the hood or whatever case may be. People will drive if the space is good. If your marketing is good, if your branding is good, people will come. Like how many times do you see that like really nice restaurant, or excuse me, not really nice restaurant, but like that restaurant, that brick and mortar or whatever case may be, that has like really good food. And you're just like, damn, like, in the hood, like I don't know about this. I'm like, in the hood, right? But it's like you make the trip, you make the drive because it's like the food is so good. It's the same thing with the venue, right? People are there for one night, so it's just kind of like, okay, cool. Like I want to go to that venue because it's a beautiful venue. They do really good work. They have really good customer service and all these different things. We have so many clients that are in underperforming neighborhoods, that are in lower income neighborhoods, but they kill it because 1, they get to save so much money on rent. 2, they get to still rent out at market price because their branding and packaging is so much stronger, right? Cool. Now, with this being said, like even when I am looking at these different locations, right, what are some things that I look for, right? People always ask me like, Brian, when you're looking at an event venue location, like what are some things that you look for, right? When it comes down to size, right, and I'll just kind of like give you guys like all the tea per se, whatever the case may be, right? Because it is what it is, right? Size, typically I like 1,500 to 5,000 square feet, right? I do like high ceilings. I do like a lot of light, right? I'll just write plenty of light, okay? right? Parking is cool. Parking is cool, but it's more of a plus, right? I do like bathrooms. I like bigger bathrooms, right? Right. I like a lot of bathroom space. People don't like to wait online for a bathroom, right? And I love industrial slash manufacturing areas. Okay. I love industrial slash manufacturing areas because now it's like I don't have to worry about noise complaints or anything like that, right? I don't have to worry about that, right? When it comes down to the rent range, okay, I like I don't like to go past really like $25 a square foot. I don't like to do that, right? And here's the thing, right? A lot of people are probably like, oh well, you're how are you giving all this away? Like, what's going to be left for your clients? You got to understand, like, we have a team. We have an entire department of people who just like cold call spaces all day. You know what I mean? Like, we have like I'm not worried in the slightest of an event space elite venue owner, right, losing a space to a non-event space elite venue owner simply because it's just like we just do more volume. We have more strategy. We have more bandwidth. Like we will always win unless you're gonna like go ahead and like spend that bag and like completely overspend on that space, which is like more power to you. Like we will always win because we just have the bandwidth for it, right? So kind of like what I was mentioning, like when it comes down to rent range, like I like $25 per square feet, right? Um, I'm okay with a triple net. I'm okay with a double net. Like these things really don't matter to me, right? But I more favor like a friendly landlord. Like I look at the relationship so strongly where it's like if I have a friendly landlord, one that's like, willing to work with me, willing to, make concessions, like I know for a fact I would have never been able to make it out of COVID if I did not have the landlords that I had. For a fact. I know for 100% fact I would have never been able to make it through COVID if I did not have the landlords that I had. And that's stamped. All right. Cool. All right. Next. How do you upgrade a space without overspending, right? Like what are some things that we typically do to kind of affordably just go ahead and like upgrade our space, right? Well, number one, right? Paint solves 80% of problems, right? Like there's so many times where I looked at my venues and I'm just like, damn, like I got to do this, I got to do that. And I literally just do a paint job that cost me like $200. And I'm like, you know what, we're fine. Like we're good. You know what I mean? Two, flooring. Flooring doesn't need to be expensive, right? Like I have a video where I talk about like, the hierarchy of flooring and whatnot, but like flooring doesn't need to be expensive, right? Like you don't have to go ahead and like replace your floor, right? Like if you have concrete, deep clean it. If you have vinyl planks, like just wax it, right? If you have like certain like uneven spots or whatever, like add some furniture. Like there's so many different ways that you can go ahead and like upgrade your venue without going crazy. And here's the thing, right? Like you like clients, like I've seen venues, I kid you not, like I don't want to put anybody on blast or anything like that, but like I have literally seen venues that have like they look horrible. They look horrible, frankly. Like I'm not even like gonna lie to you. I've seen venues that like frankly look horrible, but it's like because in the low light they are able to mask all the imperfections, they win. They stand out. They absolutely stand out, right? Which is why another thing, like lighting is everything, right? Lighting is everything, right? Like you can really get away with a shabby venue with just some really, really good lighting. You know what I'm saying? Like LED panels, right? String lights, up lighting, up lights, down lights, backdrop lights, things of that nature. A couple $100 can really make your space look like a premium studio. Like you can really show out. You know what I'm saying? Another big thing that just really affordably kind of upgrades your venue, right? Accent wall or like a signature wall, right? So like when it comes down to like an accent wall or signature wall, again, these things can be done so affordably. Like I've built accent walls for like $200, right? You could do like a grass wall, you could do a flower wall, a little panel wall with some vinyl planks, neon sign, textured tiles, things of that nature. Like it just really, it's so easy to just make your venue stand out, right? Little like a little arch, like I've done arches in my venues, things of that nature, right? Another big thing to keep the aesthetics very, very pleasing, keep furniture flexible, right? You're probably wondering like, What I mean by that, right? When I say keep furniture flexible, I'm kind of like, I don't like to have anything ground into the venue, right? Like I don't like to have anything like that, right? I like to have everything's able to be moved around. I like, the seating could be moved, the bar could be moved, the food tables could be moved, the furniture could be moved, the statement pieces could be moved. You know what I'm saying? Like let clients decorate the space. Like you build it, let them decorate it, right? Unless they're booking a decor package from you, which is a whole other thing, right? Do it that way, right? A lot of people talk about sound system, right? Let me go ahead and get another piece of paper, right? A lot of people talk a lot of people talk about sound system, right? Like me personally, I've just had really bad experiences with sound systems. We have a lot of clients that do sound systems, a lot of clients that are on our YouTube channel, they do sound system, whatever case may be. I'm not the biggest fan of it, only because it's just kind of like it gets messy. It gets messy, right? Like it gets messy, right? So I mean, with that being said, like I like a lot of times sound systems, if you get like a control panel and you get like the mixer with the tops and the bottoms, whatever the case may be, what happens is that now you have like you got to connect with cables, usually like XLR cables, right? With that being said, it's just kind of like if the DJ on Friday takes the cables, well, then now it's like on Saturday, the DJ doesn't have any cables. And guess who they're looking at? They're looking at you, right? So I don't like to be in that type of situation, right? Like, I mean, even if you do that, like, go simple. Like, don't go super expensive. I know everybody in Event Space Leads, like, you have our vendor list where you could kind of go see the vendors, where you get sound systems and stuff like that. But, like, don't go crazy, you know? Number 7, and this kind of goes back to the minimum viable product that I always talk about, right? Create a premium perception with small touches, right? Like there's some super low cost items. Everybody in event space leads, like you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Like we have a bunch of like easy ways to make the venue stand out affordably without like and still getting the overall look. Like if you want the curtains, like the curtains to go well, like the diffusers, right? The accent walls, like we have so many different ways to go ahead and like accentuate the property without going ahead and breaking the bank, right? But there are certain super like low cost things that you can go ahead and do to make the space just really, really stand out, right? Like good curtains, like I mentioned, like the diffusers, wall mirrors, entry signage, check-in desk, accent lighting, things of that nature. Small things, but like they make your space look super, super boutique, right? So now it's like, okay, cool. Now we found the space. Now we've built it out affordably. Now, how do we turn that into a monthly money machine? Right. Well, one of the number one things that you want to go ahead and do, right, is you want to own your audience, right? So I'm just going to write own your audience. Okay. Right. So a lot of times, one of the biggest things that you guys hear me talk about is like, you want to build a personal brand, right? Like your venue should absolutely have a personal brand. Like people should not be able to commoditize your venue. Right. Like I'm all for the peer space and the wedding wire and the knot and all these different things. Cool, whatever. But at the same time, they own your data. I don't I don't want my venue to be a commodity, because now it's like you listed on all these different platforms and now it's like, well, guess what? People are just looking for the most value and the cheapest price. And like that's cool at the very, very beginning, but that's not going to be able to build a real brand, right? So me, I like going ahead and building like a strong brand on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, to the point where like a lot of our clients that are now in event space leads and even in Premiere, like our back end, right? We do all the marketing for them. Like we build the brand for them. Like we do all the Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, like we manage all of that for them, right? A couple other places you could go ahead and listen on is like, local Facebook groups, you know what I'm saying? You could do some kind of like barter system with event planners, but like hands down, I open up a venue tomorrow, I'm going all in on my venue's personal brand. I'm going all in on my venue's personal brand. Period, point blank, period. Like I'm going all in on my venue's personal brand. I'm doing that through my content. I'm doing that through Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I'm posting 3 to 5 times a day, and I'm just going all in on my venue's personal brand, right? You got to understand, like this daily posting is free exposure, right? Like the behind the scenes, the event setups, the before and the after lighting, the space walkthroughs, the decorations my previous clients. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like spaces that post daily on average get 2 to 4 times more bookings. 2 to 4 times. Like that's a huge difference. 2 to 4 times just by posting every single day. And it makes so much sense because now it's just like, okay, cool. Like you're not getting drowned out by all the minutiae in the marketplace, right? People are seeing you every single day. So they're not forgetting about you. So since you're top of mind, well, guess what? Now you're also top of pocket. You see what I'm saying? Right. So another big thing that I love to do is I love to niche down. Right. A lot of times you see so many venues like it's like, okay, cool. Well, I want to go after the baby showers. I want to go after the weddings. I want to go after the kids parties. I want to go after the corporate events. I want to go after all these different things. But it's just like, okay, well, if you go for everybody, you really stand for nobody. Right. I would really love to do one type of event really freaking well. Right? I would really love to go and just do one type of event really, really exceptionally. Like, excuse me, like we did really, really well at baby showers. Like when I look back at it now, like we did really freaking well at baby showers. Right? Like, yeah, we did kids parties. Yeah, we did a few wedding receptions. Yeah, we did a bunch of different things, but like we did really, really well at baby showers. Like that was like our money maker. Right? And like every single one of our posts was just like, wow, okay, cool. Like I want to do a baby shower here. And you're probably wondering, like, damn, like, there's that many people who have babies. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? And the next thing that when it comes down to marketing is that one of the biggest things that you want to do is upsells increase your income. Like you have to look at your business as AOV, which is average order value, right? Upsells increase your income without increasing rent, right? Decor packages, balloon arches, tables and chairs, photography, sound systems, smoke machines, excuse me, studio lighting, backdrops, all these different things, like they add up. They can add easily an extra $150, $500 per event, whatever the case may be. Like these things freaking add up. You know what I'm saying? So another big thing is that you can do to kind of make more money, repeat clients, right? We had churches, schools, dance classes, paint and sips. We had all these different things that just like really showed up and showed out for our venue, right? Like all these, like we had photographers that did like, photo shoots or whatever the case may be. And all that money adds up because it's like you have 1, 2, 3, 4 people paying you like $300 a month, $400 a month, whatever the case may be. That's consistent revenue. That's predictable revenue. You see what I'm saying? Like, and I love, like, I remember I had this one girl who was doing like beauty salon classes, like paying like $300 a month. It's just like, okay, cool. Like that's money I never have to worry about. Just every single month on the money. You see what I'm saying? When it comes down to your weekends, right? You should have some type of stagnant price. Sorry, not stagnant pricing, but like some type of staggered pricing where it's like, okay, cool. Like my Saturday is my top day. Then I have my Friday, then I have my Sunday, then I have my weekdays, right? So like you want to have all these different things. Like you want to have them staggered in such a way where you are not losing out. Because that's what your Saturdays are always going to go first. Then your Fridays, then your Sundays, all these different things, right? What are some beginner mistakes to avoid, right? That was the worst line in the world, right? Right. So I'll just write common beginner mistakes, right? This is kind of a loaded video, right? What are your thoughts about the type of chairs? I love clear chairs. I'm all for the clear chairs, right? But you got to work with what you can afford. I didn't have clear chairs at the beginning, right? So common beginner mistakes, right? Renting a space that's too big too soon, right? A lot of people like they bite off way more than they can chew, and then they end up going out of business. Like we've even had some people like, where it's just like, hey, look, listen, like I want to take on this 8,000 square foot venue or whatever the case may be, and it's just like, well, I don't think that's the best thing to do right now. Even when it comes down to buying the properties, like, well, I don't think that's the best thing to do right now, right? I know some people like they overspend on build out. Well, you're not making any money yet, so again, I don't think that's the best thing to do right now. Right? Not posting content consistently. I've seen venue owners literally double and triple their business just by posting consistently, which is why that's probably one of our best selling services in Event Space Elites. All right. All these different things add up, right? I've seen people underpricing, screws you over, right? Not collecting deposits, not collecting a security deposit, right? Having poor lighting in their venue, right? Letting clients run overtime without billing them. Like all these things will hurt your business, right? Here, like, and here's just like the bigger thing, right? Like you don't need a big budget to start an event space. You need a good location with smart upgrades and consistent marketing, right? And here's the thing, right? If you want a video about how, we automate our event spaces, on how to scale to multiple locations, all that good stuff, whatever the case may be, comment below, let me know. I'll probably make that another video, whatever the case may be. But like literally your first event space can completely change your financial life, right? Like if you start smart, you can go ahead and get this done affordably and effectively, right? And again, guys, if you are interested in starting your own event space, there is a link in the description of this channel. If you go to any of our videos, if you go to the description in our YouTube channel, you'll see a link where you could go ahead and download a free guide on how to get started in the event space industry. And then at that point, if you do want more help and you want to work with our team a lot more closely to get this done faster and more effectively, there's a link to go ahead and book a one-on-one call with us. So you can go ahead and jump on a call with us. We can break down exactly how that works. But again, only do this if you're serious about working with us, because we want to make sure, because when we're in it, we are all in, right? Let's get it. Let's go, y'all. Peace. See you on the next video. Cool. Everybody who's on live, are you still with me on live? Let's get it. Hold on. Let me go ahead and get this situated. Cool. I forgot to get some water. I'm about to go get some water. All that good stuff. That was one YouTube video. Cool. That one was about like 25 minutes. Cool. Nice. For everybody who's on live with me right now, like I mentioned at the beginning of this, I'm recording a bunch of YouTube videos, and I figured, take you guys behind the scenes, allow you guys to just kind of see how we do it, how we create these videos and whatnot. If you guys have questions, or if there's enough people who jump on, we'll do a little bit of a Q&A or whatever the case may be. But more or less, actually, I'm gonna go get this water right now. I'll just kind of take you guys with me. But yeah, kind of like what I was saying, I am recording a bunch of YouTube videos. So if there's any topics or whatever the case may be that you guys want me to cover, I'll go ahead and cover them. I forgot to take my protein shake. I got to do my protein shake, right? But if there's anything that you guys want me to cover, I'll go ahead and cover them, whatever the case may be. But I already have like a bunch of videos that we're actually going to go ahead and record so we can get those done. I thought I left something in the microwave for a quick second. But yeah, let me see. What is the next video that we have going? Cool. How to find that? Cool. Event space advice you must follow when you're just starting out. Cool. All right. I think I'm actually going to do a different type of video. I had this other idea that I wanted to go ahead and do. Right? Let's see. I had this other idea. Actually, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do, I want to do this other type of video. Cool. Yeah. I want to do this other type of video where I wanted to review a couple event space Instagram profiles. I know you guys liked that video before. What is a good size venue to start with? Kiana, you are not listening. I literally just talked about that. But yeah, ideally we look for like 1,500 to 5,000 square feet. That's kind of like the sweet spot. Yellow, mellow fellow. You feel me? Bada bing, bada boom. Cool. So let's see. What video do I want to do? You know what? There's only a couple of y'all on this, so I was going to leave it up to a vote, but what it is, right? Cool. Reviewing event space Instagram profiles. I can do that. But then I have to share my screen. Let me just go ahead and do the other thing that I had in mind. Cool. All right. Event space advice you must follow when you're just starting out. That's a good one. All right. Let me wrap that one. Let me do that one. Yep. I told you I was going to try to give y'all 3 videos tonight, but you see the way your boy is yawning already. Let me turn this camera on. Let's see. Turn that camera on. Turn this next camera on. All right. We are rolling and trolling. Cool. What do you think about going into business with family? Absolutely not. Absolutely. So here's the thing, right? Let's talk about that for a quick second, right? Like, I see a lot of people talk about, like, partners and investors and all these different things. Like, it makes absolutely no sense to get into a partnership with somebody who adds no complementary skills to the business, right? Like, if you guys are both good at operations, well, then it doesn't make sense because you just have 2 people that are good at operations, right? If you have 2 people who don't know what they're doing, then it makes no sense because it's just the blind leading the blind and the dumb leading the dumb. And if it sounds like I'm being very direct, it's because I am. There's my marker. I was looking for my marker. They freaking cats lost my marker, man. But I don't, and especially with family, it's like, we always want things to be very objective. And when things could kind of get involved with family, now it's just like, well, things can get very emotional, things can get very subjective, and we don't need that. When you're going into business, you have to look at things objectively. You have to look at numbers. You have to look at data. And unfortunately, a lot of people are just not good at that. Do you know the percentage of businesses that actually make it over like 1 million? It's like 4%. Excuse me. The percentage of businesses that make it over 1 million, it's like in the US, it's like 4%. All right. The percentage of businesses, actually don't quote me on that, because the percentage of businesses that make it over 10 million is like 0.4%. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like why would I want to complement those things? Sorry, why would I want to complicate those things by going into business with family? And if it sounds like I'm beating a dead horse, it's because I get this question a lot. Like, especially when people like apply for Event Space Elites, they're just like, oh, well, I have a partner, and I'm just like, do you though? Like, does it really make sense, right? Like, does this person actually complement your skill set? And if not, then it just really makes no sense to go ahead and get into a partnership, right? Cool. Wasn't on my bingo card to talk about that, but we're going to go ahead and talk about that. Love your videos. I love you. I appreciate you. All right, cool. So, event space advice you must follow when you're just starting out. I'm hungry. What should I eat after this? I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm freaking hungry, bro. I'm gonna get some pizza or some wings or something. Yeah. All right, cool. Anywho, cool. Biggest beginner mistakes. If you are falling in love with the venue before understanding the market, like, you are making a huge mistake with your venue. All right. One of the biggest things you have to do is, number one, you have to identify your ideal client. Right? 2, you have to research what events they actually like to book. Right? 3, understand the landscape. If you don't understand the other venues that are in your market, well, then you're setting your business up to die. And then understand price points in your area and make decisions based on demand, not emotion. Right? Another big thing that you want to go ahead and do when you are going ahead and setting up your business, right, is you want to keep startup costs low. Let me go ahead and write that down here. Keep startup cost low. We just jumped into this thing, right? A lot of people try to build a luxury event space on day one, and it makes absolutely no sense. Here's a couple things that you want to go ahead and do, right? Number 1, right? Simple, durable furniture. You don't got to go ahead and like, everybody always wants to talk about, like, oh my God, Brian, like, I saw your venue. I want the Chiavari chairs. I want the porcelain tiles. Okay, cool. Brian also made money before he did those things. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about to go ahead and do all these extra things and then turn around and be like, oh, well, why am I broke? It doesn't make any sense, right? Like, it doesn't make sense to go ahead and do that, right? Number 2, like, I always like an all white canvas. Like, I'm super, super big on that. I've seen some people's venues and they do like a baby blue, or they do like a light gray, or they do some weird colored floors. And I'm just like, that doesn't make any sense, because now it's just kind of like, well, you're building your venue out for a specific type of person, and that doesn't make any sense, right? 3, only renovate if absolutely necessary, right? Like, for me and a lot of our clients in Event Space Leads, what we do is we have something called capital cost allocation, right? Where it's like, I'm going to set a percentage aside every single month of revenue, of profit, whatever the case may be, where now it's just like, okay, cool. Like every, like once a year or like once a quarter, I'm going to go ahead and do a bulk renovation. Like a lot of people don't even realize I didn't do my bathrooms. I didn't renovate my bathrooms in my first location until 2 years after we built it. 2 years. But like you see so many of these venue owners, which like luckily, like I mean, unfortunately, they go out of business, right? But this is also why 80% of venues go out of business. 80%. 80% of venues go out of business. Where like it makes absolutely no sense. Like, why would you get into a business like this with like no type of guidance or mentorship? Like, I would never. Like, do you like when I first opened up my venue, you know how many like I wish there were people out here teaching this stuff, but there weren't. There weren't. So like we just kind of had to figure it out on our own. Like luckily we made it out, but it was also a very different landscape back then. Like we're talking 2017, 2018, right? So it's just like kind of like, ads were easier to run. Like competition was less fierce. Like a lot less people were in the market. Now it's like venues are a dime a dozen. So it's like why would I, like, if I want to really get into this market, like why would I not go in with some type of guidance or mentorship, right? So with that being said, like you only renovate when it's absolutely necessary. Like when it goes down to going ahead and building out your venue, like you absolutely only want to renovate if it's absolutely necessary, right? So it's like a can of paint could go super, super far, right? Another big thing, so many people talk about like, oh, well, I'm not going to market until the venue's absolutely ready. Well, that's a big mistake, right? All of our clients market before the venue's even ready. All of our clients market before the venue is even ready. Like you can literally start 1 to 2 photo ready corners, whatever the case may be, and go ahead and market those, right? Another big thing, like focus on functionality before aesthetics. Like the venue has to make sense, which is if you looked at a lot of our venue walkthroughs, you'll always see me talk about like the hierarchy of extra space, right? Where it's like, okay, cool. Like let's talk about it real quick, right? What is the hierarchy of extra space? Well, if I have extra rooms, if I have extra square footage in my space, well, what are some of the things that I'm gonna go ahead and allocate it to, right? Right? There's 5 things, right? Number 1, kitchenette. Gotta have a kitchenette space, like sink, some place to go ahead and like prep the food, whatever the case can be, right? Cool. 2, food and prep area. Okay. Number 3, right? Rental storage. Number 4, right? Miscellaneous storage. That's like your brooms and your mops and things of that nature, right? Number 5, right? That's like your freaking, what's it called? Like your VIP room and your lounge area, like little bullshit like that, right? Like that stuff, like I don't really care about, right? But I mean, again, if you have the space, like if you have like a big 4, 5, 6,000 square foot area, whatever case you have the extra space for, like knock yourself out, be my guest, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Like go ahead and do that, right? Venue tour videos are great. I appreciate it. Right. So those are some of the bigger things, right? The next thing, when we're going back to going ahead and making sure that, the number one advice that we would follow when we're just starting out, one of the next things that I go ahead and do is I like to build systems early, right? You should always be building your venue in a way that it can be exited and sold down the line, right? You know how often before we sold our locations, you want to know how often I was at my venues? Once a quarter. But we have so many venue owners that are literally like living and breathing in their venue. Like they live there. And I was just like, well, that's not the way to go ahead and run a business. I wouldn't run a business that way, right? Like an event space without systems is chaos, and chaos kills profit, right? Like you should understand how a lead travels through your business without you having to even get involved. Okay, so like for example, right? Let's map out this funnel for a second, right? So like your lead, so like first and foremost, like the lead generation should be automated. Okay, so let's map this out for a second. So we have our lead generation. So that's like your Facebook ads or your IG organic or like your email SMS. Okay. So then it's lead generation. Then it's like, okay, cool. The lead comes in, they come in, they opt in, whatever the case may be. Now it's like that lead has to book a tour. How is that being managed? How is that being facilitated? All right. So now it's just like, okay, cool. This tour has to have, okay, cool. Well, there has to be a follow-up sequence. Right. There has to be a nurture sequence. Okay. Right. There has to be some type of there has to be some type of like, okay, cool, who's coordinating all this, right? Like, are you going to have a VA? Is it going to be automated through AI or whatever the case may be? Like, who's going ahead and doing these things, right? Who's managing the calendar, right? Then when it comes down to the tour, it's like, okay, cool, who's conducting the actual tour, right? This is actually one of the last things I outsourced in my venue simply because I didn't want to go ahead and outsource the money. Like you should never be so quick to outsource things in your business that generate the money. Literally, like you should never be in a position in your business where you're outsourcing how to generate, like how to literally make the money. And it doesn't make sense to me whatsoever because it's just like people be so quick to automate their events. Like I tell people all the time, I am the CEO, I am the full-time CEO of Mannequin Incorporated. I am the full-time CEO of Event Space Elites. Like, this is what I do. This is what I do full-time. I'm not looking to outsource this anytime soon. So if you go ahead and have a venue and you want your venue to be successful, and I'm talking like really successful, like I'm not talking $10,000 a month. That's play money, right? I'm talking like $50,000 a month, $100,000 a month, $150,000 a month. Like, that's real big money. And if you're talking about like you want to make that kind of money, well, you're not gonna like you got to understand like you're not gonna be hands off with these different types of things. Okay, you want to 100% be hands on, and you want to come down to systems because that's what the more systems you have in your event space business, the more time you have to focus on more revenue generating activities. Right? Like if I didn't have a full-time VA right now managing my business, I would not be able to be on live with you guys right now, reading the comments, making the videos, doing all these different things, right? I would not be able to go ahead and do these things, right? So now it's like when we kind of could look back at our top of funnel, right? So we have the lead gen, okay? We have the tours. Now it's like, well, the booking, right? The booking, like, well, all the things that go into the booking, like how do we go ahead and manage that? Well, like who's managing the contracts? Who's managing the invoices? Who's managing the payments and the deposits? Okay, like I would have never been able to fully step away from my venues without having my VAs, without having my full-time manager, without having you know what I'm saying, like all these different things. Like I wouldn't have been able to go ahead and do these different things, right? But it's because I had a team to go ahead and do that, which is why every single person in Event Space Elites, like we have all the team stack for them. Like, hey, look, listen, when you're building your venue, these are the different team stacks you're gonna have. You're gonna have VA, you're gonna have like a housekeeping person, you're gonna have social media manager, blah, 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 whatever the case may be. And we break it down literally how much you should be paying, how you should go ahead and outsource it, at what order to go ahead and outsource it, so you're not going ahead and overspending and putting the cart before the horse. Okay? Right? All these different things, right? Even when it comes down to inquiries, you want to go ahead and know how to manage these different things, how to go ahead and outsource these different things, the inquiries, the rules, the reminders, the check-in and check-out, the security deposit. You want to go ahead and have a system for that. You want to have a system. Let me go ahead and actually get another page for this, right? You want to have a system for deposits, right? Let's what do you call it? Post care, right? Post care, like whatever the case may be, right? Deposits, right? Oh, aftercare, right? Let's call it aftercare, like aftercare after the party, like what happens, right? Deposits, like who's managing the security cameras, like I literally had a checklist after every single event, right? After every single event, right? Literally, my housekeeper would have to go and check the venue for these specific things. We had like a 14-point inspection or whatever the case may be, right? We had a 14-point inspection. So like literally, my housekeeper would have to go and check the venue for all like these 14 points to make sure that the client could go ahead and get their security deposit back, right? Who's managing like the signed agreements, right? All these different things. It's like, well, if you've never built this business, well, then how would you know? This is why guidance is so important, because you don't want to trip over your own feet, right? Your systems should do 80% of the work for you, right? But again, you're not doing all this from the beginning. You're not doing all this from the beginning. You're doing it slowly but surely, which is why in our roadmap that you see all the clients talk about in the venue tour walkthroughs, right? This is why these are so important, because in our roadmap we break down step by step exactly when to go ahead and do these different things, right? So with that being said, right? Bada bing, bada boom, ba ba ba. Cool. So with this being said, right now, let's talk about some of the rules that protect your space, right? So like people are like, it's so funny. It's so funny to me because like people are so concerned. It's just like, oh my God, Brian, like if I charge a security deposit, or if I don't have if I give them too many rules, or if I don't allow alcohol, they won't book. Come again? What are you talking about? Like, let me make something very, very clear, right? Am I still rolling? Am I still good? Cool, right? Like, let me make something very, very clear, right? Rules only scare bad customers. If my rules in my contract scare you away, good. We were not supposed to be doing business together anyway, right? Like if the time that I close down scares you, cool. If the fact that I don't allow certain things in my space scare you, cool. If the fact that I have a security deposit worries you, cool, good. As long as these things are clearly laid out, then that's fine. There's a meeting of the minds here, right? Things like no smoking, guest limits, cleanup requirements, all the ways so you could go ahead and get your security deposit back. All these things have to be clearly laid out in your contract. There should be no mixing of words. There should be no questionable things. It should be very, very black and white, right? And like late arrival to exit policies, all these different things. Like you want to make these things very, very clear. Strong rules create better clients, fewer problems, positive reviews. Because here's the situation, right? Like imagine you have a situation where you didn't tell the client, oh, well, if you don't do XYZ, you're not going to get your security deposit back. Now you have a disgruntled client. Now you didn't have a meeting of the minds. Now you didn't do your job effectively, right? As opposed to on the other hand, where you did communicate these things, now you have higher retention. I have literally had clients that have come in and have done their wedding with us, their baby shower with us, the first birthday with us, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You see what I'm saying? Another mistake, like I almost forgot about like the actual point of this video, right? Another mistake that so many venue owners make is that not understanding that the photos matter more than the decor, right? Style shoots. Style shoots are absolutely priceless. Like you want to 100% have style shoots in your venue, right? Fewer people book what they see, right? People book what they see, not what they think that your space feels like. Right. So it's like, which is also again why the content is so important. Like, guys, I cannot emphasize this enough. If your venue is not posting consistently in 2025, 2026, you will lose. If your venue is not big on social media in 2025, 2026, you will lose. I cannot sugarcoat it. I cannot underscore it enough. It's just the real deal. Like we're gonna get to the point in Event Space Elites where we are going live for our clients. Like we're gonna have somebody in point going live for their client for the venue. Like that's how serious this stuff is, right? But guess what? These are also the venues that are gonna do $50,000 a month. Like what is $10K a month? What is $10K a month? What is that? Like, I want $50,000 a month. I want $100,000 a month, right? BK Event Spaces could have never done those kind of numbers if we were not so bullish. Like before we sold the business, we had like 22,000 followers. Like nobody and this is back in like 2017, 2018 for a brick and mortar business. Like that didn't just happen. That was like brick by brick. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's why this stuff is so important, right? So important, right? Another big mistake that a lot of venues owners make is like learn to say no. Learn to say no. Right? Not every customer is a good customer, right? Like if you're coming in and you're breaking our guest limit, like that's fine. I'm cool. If you're doing a crazy party crowd, like that's fine. That's cool. Like I don't want it. If you're like trying to beat down my price like a super aggressively, like that's cool. I don't want it. Right? Clients who ignore the rules, anybody who seems disrespectful, even if it comes to event space elites, like if you get on a call with us on event space elites and you're an asshole, I'm cool. I don't want your business. I don't, because this is somebody that we have to go ahead and put up with for the next few months, and I don't want to do that to my team. Like I like when a client joins Event Space Elites, we're all in. We're all in. Like we do this A through Z. Our guidance in Event Space Elites has produced over 2,226 venue owners. Can you believe that? 2,226 venue owners, and we're only able to do like it's almost to the point where I feel bad for people who were in Event Space Elites 2 years ago, because the level of support that we have now is unbelievable. Like we can literally take somebody from like a pulse and a credit score to a 10K a month venue in 90 days. Like that's how much support there is in Event Space Elites. There is nothing. Like I will stand on this. There is nothing that we have not seen in this venue realm. Nothing. It's everything A through Z, which is why like I can come on and I can make a video like this, and I sound like I know what I'm talking about. I sound like I know what I'm talking about because I've done it 1,000 times, right? And if anybody comes into the space and they're talking about like, hey, look, listen, I can mentor other people in this space. Well, I would just love to see your credentials. I would love to see your credentials. Have you helped over 2,000 people open up a venue? I don't think so, because I'd probably see your ads and we'd probably know each other, right? Like to the point, like I spoke at Wedding MBA. It's one of the biggest conventions in America for people in the wedding industry or whatever the case would be. And I had people walking up like, hey, Brian, like I see your ads all the time. Like I love what you're doing. Like I love your videos. I love everything that you're doing. And I'm just like, like you don't think about it all the time when I'm making these videos and you see like the 100, the 1,000, the 10,000 views or whatever the case may be. But these are real people at home. And so when people walk up to me and they're just like, look, listen, like I really love what you're doing. I'm just like, like I appreciate that. And I appreciate you for supporting, right? Because that's the reason we go ahead and do this, right? So I mean, like all in all, I kind of went off on a bit of a tangent, right? I apologize, right? But one of the biggest things, right, is that you have to understand that making these mistakes will cost you in your venue. And if you don't want to make these mistakes, then work with a team that's already made the mistakes for you, right? Guys, if you are interested in working with Event Space Elites, there is if you go to the description in our YouTube channel or in any of the other videos, right? Like you'll see a link to a free guide. You can download a free guide. And then on the next page, you'll have the option to book a call to work with us. At that point, you'll jump on a call. We'll kind of do some assessment. We'll kind of see if we're a good fit for each other. And then essentially we'll map out essentially how we can go ahead and do this entire thing A through Z. All right. Sound good? Let's get it. Let's go. All right. Locked in that YouTube video. Let's get it. Cool. Y'all, I am so hungry, y'all. I'm so hungry. Cool. Knocked out 2 YouTube videos. If y'all got questions, y'all could drop questions in the chat or whatever case may be. I'll see them. Sorry if you drop a question like while I'm in the video. I try not to kind of like get off topic or anything like that, even though sometimes we get off topic, but like I try not to get off topic. You feel what I'm saying? Cool. But yeah, if you guys have questions on anything like that, feel free to drop questions or whatever. Cool. Oh man, do I have energy to do another video? I guess I will. Let me see. What are the topics that I have? Okay, did that video. Okay, cool. So these videos are done. Okay, cool. All right, bada bing, bada boom. All right, cool. So I had a couple ideas. Let's see. We could. I'm trying to see what would not require me to go ahead and share my screen, because I don't want to mess up the YouTube stream or anything like that. Okay. How I'd start a venue business with 10,000. I mean, we got a few people online right now. I kind of let you guys vote, right? I have 4 options. How I'd start, well, the 4th option we kind of already did already. How I'd start a venue business with 10,000, 50,000, or 100,000. How I'd start a venue business using other people's money. How I'd get 50 bookings in 90 days, or yeah, I have those 3 options. Which one should I record next? So again, I'll repeat the options. It's how I start a venue business with $10,000, $50,000, or $100,000. How I start a venue business using other people's money, or how I'd get 50 bookings in 90 days. We got a couple people on live, so I'll kind of let you guys vote real quick. If nobody votes, then I'll just go ahead and pick one randomly. All right. Cool. I'll just kind of start from the top. How I start a venue business with $10,000. Oh my God, that's gonna be tricky. Woo! That's gonna be tricky. How I'd start a venue business with $10,000. Let's do it. 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 Okay. I gotta think for a quick second, like, because I don't want to be mumbling. How I start a venue business, $10,000. You know what? I have an idea. Yeah, I have an idea. All right. Start with a clean sheet of paper. Let's do it. Cool. Got the camera rolling. Boom, boom, boom. Let me get the other camera rolling. All right. What's going on, guys? So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down how I would start a venue business, an event-based business. Damn, let me actually do that intro over again. What's going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to be breaking down how I would start a venue business with only $10,000. So let's go ahead, break down this whole entire 10K. So the way I usually like to look at budget is I like to split it into 3 things, right? So what are the 3 things that I'm going to have to go ahead and look at when I'm building out a venue business, right? Well, number 1 is moving costs. So this is like your security deposit, your first month rent, this, that, and the third. Then I have furniture, right? So then I have, last but not least, I have build out. Okay, cool. With this being said, one of the best things that you can probably do is find a venue that is going out of business, right? So if you have like a super, super low budget, right, you're probably your best bet is to find a venue that is going out of business. Now, here's the thing, right? If you do find a venue that is going out of business, most likely if it's somewhere in the realm of like maybe like 2,000, 3,000 square feet, they're gonna want some type of monies for the the build out and the furniture, mostly the furniture, right? So that's gonna come up between maybe about I would say about $20,000 and $30,000. So that already kind of puts us outside of budget, right? So if I have 10K, what's probably one of the best things I can go ahead and do is I can find venues and just go ahead and market for them, right? So it's so funny because back in like when I started working at a venue, there was a service called Hallgo. Interesting enough, wow. I wonder if they're still in business. They didn't have the best business model, I'll tell you that. But we'll save that for another video, right? But essentially what they would do is they would find all these different venues and they would market to their website, kind of like Peerspace, right? So they would market to the venues and they would say, okay, cool, if this person booked, we'll get 10%, right? So if I only had $10,000, I would probably just save my $10,000 and I would just do that alone. I would just do the marketing for these different venues. So I would find like maybe like, 5 to 10 really good venues, like really good aesthetics, right? So like just say like really good aesthetics. Okay. And I would just do the marketing for them. I would literally just do the market for them, right? Preferably in the price point, like just kind of make it worthwhile of like maybe like, 5,000 to 10K, per night or whatever the case may be. That way, like if I get 10%, well, I'm making 500 to $1,000 a night, right? And I would just go ahead and just like do the marketing for those. So I would take my 10K and I'll invest it into like, learning Facebook ads or learning Google ads and different things like that. And I would just go ahead and market to those venues, and I would just take like a cut for those marketing services, right? And you could either do like a flat fee of like, hey, look, listen, every single person we send to you will get like $100. Or you can do like a percentage of bookings where it's like, hey, look, listen, if you charge 5,000 to 10,000, we'll just go ahead and get like $500 to $1,000 or something along those lines, right? That's how I would go ahead and get my venue. That's how I would go ahead and just get into the event rental business with just $10,000, right? Now let's go ahead and chunk it up, right? Let's say, for example, I bumped up the budget to like $50,000, right? So if I had $50,000, I would literally cold call venues. I've actually done this before, right? I would literally cold call venues in a specific geographical area, like preferably near me, whatever the case may be, right? And I would go ahead and I just repeated that twice, right? I would go ahead and I would offer to buy their business, right? So I would go ahead and I would cold call all the venues. Like, say, for example, you're in like Atlanta, Georgia, right? So I would go ahead and I would cold call all the venues in Atlanta, Georgia, and I would have a script which was like, hey, look, listen, like, how's business? Cool. Are you guys looking to exit? And I would offer them like 10 grand to go ahead and like take the venue off the hand. Or better yet, if they're looking to just exit and like, just like not break their lease, then I would just say, hey, look, listen, I'll just buy the furniture off you. And I would just, so that way you don't have to mess up your credit or mess up your relationship with the landlord. And I would just go ahead and buy you out your venue, right? And that would be like a super easy way. And you could potentially even do that with like less than the 10K or whatever the case may be. But I would do that with, I could do that with less than 10K. Or if they have like bookings on the actual calendar, right? Kind of like we had when we sold our business, right? If we had bookings on the actual calendar, then what I would go ahead and just like, okay, cool. How many bookings do you have on the calendar? Whatever the case may be. And we would kind of come up with a negotiable amount for that, right? And that's how I would get into the business with like less than $50,000, right? Cool. We will kind of actually wrap it up there, right? Guys, I hope that video was super, super helpful. And again, if you are looking to find fun and fill your very own event space, tap in with us at Event Space Leads with the link in the description. Let's get it. Let's go. Cool. Oh my God. All right, boom. We just knocked out like what was that? We just knocked out like 3 YouTube videos. Cool. We just knocked out like 3 YouTube videos. Sweet. We are live and direct. Damn, my nose is running, boy. Sheesh. Y'all didn't even tell me that my nose is running. Sheesh. Guys, hope this, like, if y'all got any questions, any last minute questions, I don't think anybody got questions. I think y'all got a lot to work with just now, just there, all that good stuff, you feel me? Right? So with that being said, we will go ahead and wrap up for the night. What the hell's that? Somebody outside my door or something like that. I don't even know. But anyway, trying to go live more often, just knock out these YouTube videos for y'all. Right? Cool. Well, with that being said, ending the live stream. Hope this was informative. And again, tap in with us in Event Space Leads. If you're not in Event Space Leads, why are you not in Event Space Leads? Like, join Event Space Leads. All right. There's going to be a link. There's a link in the channel description where you can go ahead and get a free guide. Once you have the free guide, on the next page, it'll offer you the opportunity to go ahead and book a call with us. There's a short application. If you're qualified, you'll go ahead and be able to speak with one of our advisors, either myself or one of our other team members. And then at that point, we'll rock and roll. All right. I'll see you guys soon. Let's go.